Hey guys, what's up? This is Clydes the movie fan. And it's time for another spoiler movie review. This time I will be reviewing one of the two pleasant surprises for me this year. And that movie is Paddington. I really expected this movie to suck, but I was surprised at how fucking awesome it was. And there sure is a lot in this movie worth talking about. And now that it's on Blu-ray, I can finally do a spoiler movie review of it. So I'm gonna do that right now. So without further ado, let's begin. The movie starts with a black and white clip, which is obviously from the 1930s. Yeah, no doubt about it. And here comes a furnishing. By the way, I will be discussing all the scenes in the movie that I find funny, as well as the major plot points. Paddington fills a hat with marmalade and he puts it on. But the next scene is not funny. In fact, it's very serious. That is so fucking depressing and I'm crying when I'm watching the scene. So there's nothing that Paddington can do now other than taking care of himself in London. That's harsh. London is a big city after all. But when he finally arrives at the train station, all the humans walking around there seem to be ignoring him. Wait a minute, that doesn't make much sense. Why are they ignoring him? Why is no one saying, holy shit, that bear is fucking talking? That would have been the more appropriate reaction. Pigeons try to eat Paddington's sandwich. Eventually, a nice lady by the name of Mary Brown finds him and brings him home. That is after inviting him dinner, of course. But anyway, before we cut to the next day, Paddington describes every member of the family, which is fucking awesome. I'm glad that I get to know more about them before we go on. I'm not gonna describe them because really I think it's more important that I just talk about the story and the funny jokes. But the next day, the Brown family goes to a Subway. And then comes another funny scene. Paddington takes what's written on a sign too literally. When it says a dog must be carried, he gets some random dog and carries it. That is so fucking funny. And then Paddington meets up with a weird man who could be able to help, and he does. All he's trying to do is to return the fucking wallet. Even though Paddington does it intentionally, he still manages to stop a wanted criminal, and that's so fucking awesome. By no surprise, Henry Brown is still not pleased. In fact, he wants to get rid of Paddington as soon as possible. But after seeing how good his children feel after the clean of Paddington, he changes his mind and goes with Paddington to that special guild. And seeing Henry Brown dressed as a woman is embarrassing but very fucking funny at the same time. They eventually find what they're looking for, but destroy the machine in the progress. That's not good. And they finally find out the name of said explorer. He is none other than Montgomery Clyde. Oh, so that's his fucking name. That's interesting. But while Paddington is alone home, that cunt, Millicent Clyde, tries to get him, but fails. And there is of course mess in the house because of her. Well, this time the mess is not Paddington's fault, but Henry still blames him for it. Paddington decides that there is only one thing he can't do, and that's to walk on the streets and surviving there. That is so fucking depressing. I'm really crying. A guard is actually willing to share some of his food with Paddington. That's beyond fucking awesome. When Paddington finally gets to Montgomery's home, it appears that he is dead. Yeah, I'm not that surprised. In fact, I expected it throughout the movie that the guy would be dead. There is no reason why he wouldn't be. That clip is fucking ancient, man. But as it turns out, Millicent Clyde wants to stuff Paddington because of some stupid reasons. Yes, he is an intelligent villain, I will admit that. But what he wants to do with a bear is dumb. There is no getting around that. Why would you want to stuff a fucking talking bear? You can actually make millions by having it on a talent show. Because a talking bear is not fucking normal, it isn't. But whatever, I can let that slide. But what I can't let slide is a major problem I have with this movie. And it's the fact that she is Apparently the daughter of that guy Montgomery from long time ago. That clip really looks like it's from the 1930s. But if she was a little girl back then, how come she looks much younger than 80 something? She should by all rights be 80 something by now. If this movie took place in the 1970s or 1980s, it might make more sense. But no, it's obvious that this movie does take place in this decade. So why the hell does she look like she is in her 50s at most? She doesn't even look 50, she looks younger than that even. It makes no sense to me and is unfortunately a major plot hole. Now the Brown family goes on a rescue mission. I really fucking love how Mrs. Bird is trying to get drunk with the guard. And I also fucking love how Paddington uses special electrical device to climb up a chimney. But eventually the birds attack Millicent Clyde. And the movie ends with Henry Brown apologizing on how he's been treating Paddington and now welcomes him to the family. Now it's time for my overall thoughts. Honestly, this movie is just as fucking awesome as I remember it. And it's an enjoyable movie overall. There are some issues that I hate with it, like the major issue that I mentioned. But it's still a fantastic movie overall, and for that I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. And I am interested in getting the Blu-ray one day. And keep in mind that I don't have the Blu-ray yet. I was just ranting for the purpose of this review. Well guys, that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching, have a great day.